Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Deborah, aka the Sunset Girl Creates, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today we'll be going over our article that we're working on through our series. So it's 8 diamond painting techniques you've never thought of. So here's the funny part is, I thought I was videotaping a video and I forgot to hit play. So I did the whole video, talked through the whole video, and realized I had no video. So today we will be working on our blue area right in here. I'm working on the peas. The peas are a big portion of this area, so once I get this big area done, I'll do the 4s, 7s, and the peas, and we should be pretty good on this section. So what's going on in my world? Not a whole lot going on in my world. Spent the day yesterday outside diamond painting. Today will probably be an indoor diamond painting day. I'm going to be spending my day here in the house. And excuse me a minute, I'm turning on my fan. Sitting here in my house today because it is a rainy day here in Florida. So I'm going to be spending it inside. Diamond painting, obviously. Trying to finish this section on the minions. We have this section plus about 3 more sections to go. And I'll be done with this large painting. And then we'll see how I display it. So I'm going to be using it kind of as a display piece in my office, because I'm going to make like a diamond painting wallpaper. It's not really a, it is to display, because I have so many paintings, it's going to be hard to display everything. And so I'm busy trying to work on that. I've got to figure out which is going to be the next one in the wallpaper, because it's not going to be any of the girls. I can guarantee you that my girls will not make it in. I will probably have a couple Chuck Pensons in there. I think I'm going to put my lighthouse one in there. Then I finished for the Chuck along late, but at least I participated. I can't guarantee anything that I will make it through a whole month at this point. Diamond painting all the way and able to, I know I lost those diamonds, they fell off my wax. I might need to re-wax, but I will do that after the video. I'm going to find those 2 though and put them back in my pan. So that's what's going on. Today will be an indoor day. I may even go put a couple hours in on the old shoe house since I am inside for the day. I usually on my indoor days like to work on that. On days that I can be outside, I will always be working on whatever one's on my mobile station. I keep a mobile station in my house. I have a lap desk with a light board in it. I don't need the light board when I'm working on it with Diamond Art Club. Their symbols are very clear, very easy to see, and easy to be able for me to just pick up my diamonds and then grab and go. And this, yeah, I'm gonna have to redo this. It's just not like working. So we're gonna redo this pickup because it didn't pick up very well. So we better just shuffle. Let's move our beads around. Let's get them up. And so I just shuffle my beads. See, I shuffle them. And as I do, I hold my pan like this, my diamond painting tray, and I tap. And the best way to tap I've found is to slowly do a tap across my knuckle, my top knuckle, and usually I can coax a lot of the clumps of diamonds down, so all I have is a few to have to clean up. So then we ended up with a nice tray looking like this. So see, our tray is nice and nice and good. I'm going to lay it down on our pad from Amazon. I use the Beadsmith and everything like that. So now I have a nice layer of let me just clean them up because you can't see what I'm doing now. I'm just getting rid of the ones that are upside down, closest to where I'm going to be working, so that I don't have to worry about getting into them or hitting them when I didn't mean to. This way it's all nice and clean. I know I have a clean workspace when I start. And a clean work area with diamonds is really important to me. To have a clean work environment is important. So let's get started on our diamond painting blog. So we are reading from the Diamond Art Club blog. We are on this article, 8 diamond painting techniques you've never thought of. So what are some good techniques that we have out there that you've never thought of, that you might be wanting to work with and you didn't know that you were able to do so? Well, let's see some of what these techniques are. So, seasoned diamond crafters know that few things are quite as satisfying, relaxing, or all-around enjoyable as spending an afternoon completing a dazzling piece of diamond artwork. I love the completing of a piece. Once I get down to the bottom, I kind of have a whole ceremony on finishing the end of it. So when we get down to that last section of the painting, I will be more than happy to show you what I do when I do my finish. While this hobby is perfect for newbies and the self-described non-crafty folks out there, it's also beloved among super creative types who have been making art for ages. Yeah, I mean, if you can make art, you want to share it with the world, right? And I love sharing my artwork with the world. It is awesome to be able to take somebody else's artwork that somebody's already plotted. You don't have to worry about plotting it. Now, mind you, it takes hours to plot a design like this because I've plotted knitting designs. I've plotted cross-stitch designs. So I have done designing of products in the past. I just don't do it now. And so I will be working on some just blank canvases where I want to do some designing on it. I will be doing that in the future. So keep your eye out for that. Something for in the future. So while this hobby is beloved, no matter which category you fall into, mastering a few clever new techniques will help you complete diamond art that you'll be proud to showcase. Here are a few of our favorite tips and techniques. Upgrade your organization. So, don't underestimate the power of good storage system. Having all your diamonds clearly labeled and separated within arm's reach will cut down on the time it takes to search for specific colors and prevent you from losing any tiny pieces. There are a number of brilliant ways to keep your diamonds organized, including using egg cartons. Egg cartons are a perfect solution for separating your gems into different colors while you're working on a big piece of diamond artwork. Use labeled bags. So you can put your diamonds into labeled bags, and you can use those labeled bags. While bags are a bit more difficult to store, they're great because they can be easily picked up and poured into your diamond tray. Okay, so when they're talking about the bags and storing your diamonds in bags, from Diamond Art Club, the bags, the diamonds come to you in bags. So these are my 310. These are Diamond Art Club. They say Diamond Art Club, do what makes you sparkle, is always on their bags. Okay, so you see the bag. And on the other side of the bag, it has the DAC number. So this one's 310. Okay, so you see we have 310. We have lots and lots of 310, but it comes this way, right? It comes this way. Awesome. But it may come from other companies in baggies. And so I have a baggie here to show you. I thought I had it out. Hold on 1 second. Okay, here's the baggie. So these are the baggies they're talking about. So 3716. That's not in here, but it is a AB that I have, and it is in a baggie. And a lot of people like to put them in the baggies like this, and then put it into a container that holds baggies. And all of these baggies are labeled and numbered. Isn't that fun? Okay, so those are baggies. Now, different people on Etsy who have 3D printers have been making containers where people can put their baggies in and store their baggies for use of diamond painting. Use small trays. So once you've tried a few diamonds and have decided you'd like it, upgrade to a small craft box. We recommend a B storage trays that have self-contained compartments that can pull out the main box individually. So I have a couple different containers that I have available at my hands. I have this one, and this is Tic Tac boxes, and currently I use it to store all of my fun diamonds. So you can see all of my fun diamonds in here. So there's a lot of rhinestones, and then there's ABs, and there's just all kinds of stuff. And this will get bigger and will fill up. And the bottle containers are super easy. They're Tic Tac bottles, jars. So just like a Tic Tac jar, you pop it open. You can put your sticker on top. Right now this is number 57 in my kit, so it sits over here. Okay, so here's 57. When I would want to put diamonds back in or fill the diamonds, I would pop the top off. So now you can pop your top off, right? And put your diamonds in, put the lid on, and then they pour nicely out the slot. These are good when you're working on a small diamond painting. I personally do not like this style of box. I prefer either my 60 container or my big container. So they are in small pieces, and as you can see, I have lots of diamonds, and I consolidate and move them around. We're having this system. So this is the Elizabeth Ward system with all the small containers. I do not have anything the large and the medium. I did get this for my birthday from my mother, which was probably one of the best birthday presents ever, because it's made this project one of the easier projects on my list. I do have the container that I use in here. So these are the actual containers. P. And you can see this is our letter. This is the number. It comes up in the system. This is the P. And this is the DMC color. Diamond Art Club on the newer kits already have these cut out. Most of my kits are some of the older kits, so I still have to cut these out. But it is nice when I get a kit and I see them cut for me, and I don't have to hand cut them. I just put them on my kit. And that's a lot of reasons why everybody didn't like to kit up and kit down as much, because they couldn't get those stickers off just once. So I think I see more and more people moving more towards these storage systems. So those are the small container storage systems we have that I have available to show you. There are many, many more kinds of storage. I have 3 or 4 different kinds of storage other than what I've already showed you. I don't have it here. Maybe I'll do a video on storage once we're done doing our blog series, and there may become one come up to where I can actually show you all of my different minis, but this is just a small quick one, so I don't want to make it last too long. Make your workspace mobile, and like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm working on my mobile space right now. Currently, this is my mobile space. It allows me to pick up my system. I can literally pick it up. I have a lap desk, and I can go. I have it all set up. As you can tell, my connections. Let me connect these again. Sometimes I use the smaller clips, and sometimes they loosen up a little bit, and then my plastic gets out. I use the plastic when I'm not painting so that it's covered, clean, and safe. It's the best way I've found to work on a mobile one, is to set up my diamond painting below the section that I'm not using. So here is the release papers. I have release papers across this whole section. This whole section of release papers is our next section we will be working on. I also have my pad, my beadsmith pad. Doesn't matter, as long as it's got the beadsmith on top, and you see all those little bubbles. See all those? I don't know if you can see all these little holes in here, but there's little holes in here that allow me to be able to pick this up, and then it has a solid back. I can just place my drills there, and they're going to stay. And then I can just do my drills, whatever I need to do. This one's needs to be fixed. And then I can simply drag across, and look at that. I have a full set of peas to lay, and I lay them on the canvas. So that's how my mobile system is set up. This kind of allows me to be able to move about in my yard and all that kind of stuff. And so now I'm having a hard time getting this to go back into place. Hold on, let me just move you this way. There you go. There, now you're back. Okay, perfect. And I'm not really know much more up. There we go. Okay, now you're right centered where I'm at. Okie dokie. So, while it's nice to have a permanent place to work, such as a desk or a dining room table, you will occasionally want to move your craft station to another area. To do this, put all your tools onto a cutting board or a large mat so you can take it from office to living room to bedroom to a friend's house as needed. Throughout my time of coming across and figuring out what I'm going to do next, and how I'm going to store, and how I'm going to keep track of everything when I go in and out. And what I'm talking about my tools. I'm talking about my pens that I've got going, right? Talking about my pen. I'm talking about my tray that I just showed you. And then I'm talking about all my other tools or things I need. So I always need to have a cough drop and an inhaler for my COPD. For my being hard of hearing, I have to have headphones to talk on a telephone. I can if it's in the car, on my Bluetooth or something, but if I'm at home, it's much easier for me to talk on the phone. With my headset in, I can hear and understand what people are saying. I keep a couple of my stoppers for my trays, so if I lose a stopper, I have a replacement. So I have a couple different stoppers. I have my clips. So these are my bigger clips that I keep on the back side where my canvas is rolling over. These are the smaller clips I was just talking about that I use on the bottom side that hold my rolled area that's uncompleted. So I like to keep it as delicate as process. That glue has not been used yet, so we want to make sure we keep it clean. I also have a couple pairs of our sharp tweezers. And I have a pair of the flathead tweezers. So see how they're flat on the top? I really like these tweezers better and prefer them better to these. These tips bend so easily, and I'm constantly putting them back into an alignment. So you see how small and tiny. Let me put this down, because this is the last thing in this. Oh, I have another tip too. I'll show you in a minute. But see with these, see how I'm really notorious to make sure that mine close properly. So if you see they close up tight, I have to have tight fitting tweezers. So those are my tweezers. It's really important I use them because I'm outside a lot. I have to have something that's going to help me quickly remove like a piece of pollen or something, or even an ant that might crawl across it. I need to be able to get that off quick. So that's why my two kinds of, and three pairs, I actually have 4 pairs. I have a pink of the flat ones as well. I also have a pair of scissors in here, and I do keep a 5-placer in my container if I need a different multi-placer. And so that's what allows me to be mobile, is I keep any and everything that I need to carry out in that container. It does have a lid, but because the lid is showing something, the name of the company, I can't have that shown right now for reasons of copyright. So now on to the next thing. Invest in a multi-diamond applicator tool. What's a multi-diamond applicator tool? That sounds kind of a really a big name for something out there, right? Could be something simple, but it's got a huge name. Makes you wonder what it is, right? What does a multi-diamond applicator tool really mean? Well, we all know what that really is. That's that tip right there. This tip that has got new wax in it. I did it when you were reading the article, so that I wouldn't have any more problem laying diamonds as I demonstrate. So it has fresh wax in it, but it is a multi-diamond applicator tool. Multi-diamond meaning it holds more than 1 diamond. So if you look here, this holds a lot of diamonds. It holds 8 diamonds. So if I go over here and I pick up a round of diamonds, and as you can see, it holds 8 diamonds. That's what they mean by multi-diamond applicator tool. So if I can look at my diamonds, look at the diamonds, are they straight on there? No, there's one out of whack, so I always make sure I kind of move them. I look at my diamonds a lot that are on here. I will run them through and do a couple rounds on the tray, and now, look, they're straight. If they're straight on my tool and I lay them properly, then they're going to be straight on the canvas. I won't have to move them, right? So let's see what happens. I'm going to lay this precisely where I want it. I have it set up, and now I just roll. And when I'm done, look at what I've got. A beautifully laid set of drills and a bunch of wax, which I hate when wax gets on my canvas. Getting wax off your canvas is probably one of the most important things you need to do. You can get it off in the end. I see now I'm using my sharp ones because I can get in between the diamonds and get that wax out without affecting. There we go, got it off and everything. So, did it affect my diamonds? No, it did not. So, the one thing I do see is I'm slightly off just a little bit. So I'm going to adjust just a little bit on those last few diamonds. And look at that. a nice straight line of diamonds. For some reason these are looking at an angle, but I think it's just the way that I have the board, the painting sitting on my lap. So then, what do they say about the multi-diamond applicator tool? Forget the basic rhinestone applicators. So I don't have any of those. I keep them all in my office, so I don't have any in here. Our diamond painting toolkits come with amazing magic applicators. So you know the applicator and the comfort grip that you get when you get your new paintings? Yeah. Which allow you to work on your painting for hours at a time. So when you do get that pen and comfort grip, now I am a snob when it comes to diamond painting. I will totally admit it out loud. I am a diamond painting snob, okay? So I really, really, really look down on those, but I'm also going to be using those in the future. I have a plan. I'm not going to talk about it now because I cannot make that plan even go into action until I get a proof of Social Security. And that's only because right now we are living on our investments. Why I'm trying to get my Social Security claim filed. It has been filed. Not worried about that. We just haven't gone to the adjudicator yet. So the adjudicator is the one that will make the decision, the first decision of whether I qualify or I don't qualify for disability. I will have to go see a doctor, so there'll be some prepping to go see a doctor and making sure that the doctor can see everything that happens in my body at a full slice, like my doctor just saw, because my doctor saw for a while, I was thinking that maybe I didn't have that bad of a case and that I really didn't need to be disabled, right? And then when I went off my medication and for a little while, he didn't think it was that bad. But then once he saw that I unmedicated, and because he wasn't the doctor that diagnosed me, so he didn't see me in the beginning, but he did do some diagnostic tests and did confirm for himself that I did have fibromyalgia. Diagnostic tests and like hitting certain pain points. I'm sorry, I always have to fix my diamonds. It drives me nuts if they're not perfect on my pen. So it does take me a minute. It keeps me from having to do so many adjustments, you know? So, these pens are nice, right? It's nice to be able to go in and lay 7, 8 diamonds at a time, right? And usually I do much better. I'm not as good when I'm on video, but we'll get better as we get along, right? I'll get better doing it on video, and you guys will get better at listening to me blab. So, the great thing about these tools is that they feature a double-sided head that either lets you pick up and apply one diamond at a time, which is our single diamond applicator, right? There's your diamond applicator. Double-sided head that either lets you pick up and apply one diamond at a time, or if you're working on a large area of the same color, multi-rhinestones at a time. So like what they're talking about is I have a large area of color that I need to lay. And it's going to take me a lot longer to lay the diamonds one at a time than it is for me to lay them all down 8 at a time, even if each one needs to be adjusted. Because there's not a whole lot of adjusting that I need to do. It's usually pretty good, nice and straight. I can usually just come up here and lay down a row of diamonds, and there we go. Now they're straight. So you can see how they're straight. I don't have to make any adjustments to them. When I lay the next set of diamonds, it's going to do any final adjustment that needs to be done. Isn't that cool? And you get a lot laid down. I know a lot of people, Miss Crocheting Coffee, she lays them 10 at a time. She's really good at laying them 10 at a time. I'm not that good yet. I've gotten up to 8. And my husband and I both agree that 8's probably good enough for me. Yep, and I'm proud of myself for the 8 that I've done, right? So these are off just a little bit. I see that they're off just a tad, but that's okay. I can come back and adjust quickly. I can adjust quickly faster than I can if I'm laying a diamond, because if I'm laying them one at a time, I'm still going to be doing some kind of adjustment. So I lay one at a time, right? Let me lay a row here of one at a time. And I've gotten really good at making sure that they're straight, right? And I can lay one at a time. So we're up to 4. Now we're 4. Now we're 5. And look, I can adjust that. 5. 6. 7. 8. And I still had to do a little adjustment of those, right? And it took quite a long time to lay 8. Or I can quickly lay down 8 with some minor adjustments. Okay, it was much faster to lay those, even with the minor adjustments, than it was to lay the 8 singles. So that's how I get my big, huge diamond paintings. When, you know, Miss Crocheting Coffee, she did her last painting that she did for her husband, and it was a diamond art clip painting. She did it. It was a large painting. Okay, it was like the last. It was about the size of the Chuck Pinson that I recently unboxed. So she has a lot of diamond painting. She did that in 16 days. That's all she did. Her husband wanted it so bad, he did all the chores and let her just diamond paint to her desire until it was done. Now they just moved, so she's not been doing much diamond painting. I know that she's one in. It's a quiet, don't tell nobody. One in where her husband was out of town because she was going crazy not being able to diamond paint. I'm the same way. I go crazy. Sometimes I take some of the little things. Like I took a luggage tag when we went out to lunch. Cool. A luggage tag. But, you know, it was something quick, easy, and I was able to diamond paint. You know? And maybe somebody will see me diamond painting while I'm eating lunch, after I've eaten lunch, while my husband's having a nice drink. He likes to have a cocktail or two when we go out to lunch. I personally have quit drinking. I'm not drinking alcoholic beverages at all. I usually go to the restaurant, and I was getting a Diet Coke when I went in. I've recently changed it over to water, and I went and got some flavor drops from the store, and I now only drink water when I go out to eat even. I think it's important to be healthy, especially when you have a disorder like me. I need to stay healthy. I need to keep the rest of my body functioning and healthy. And yes, I don't know about anybody else, but I like to run my fingers down. If I'm running my fingers and everything's smooth, then all my diamonds are in place. But I have caught so many that have been missed that are are slightly off or didn't quite get attached when I laid them, and I've been able to lay them and keep them from popping off at a later time. So sometimes doing that is helpful. So now we're on to our next section. 4. Start from the top. Gravity is at play, so make sure you start from the top of the canvas and work your way to the bottom. This will make your artwork easier to transport and maneuver, since you won't be worried about the bottom being weighed down, causing rhinestones to drop or slip off. Yeah, but you still have to worry about your top getting top heavy. So I've rolled up my top and I rest it on the inside of my lap desk. There's an open area about this wide, and it goes all the way across the lap desk, and it allows me to lay in my roll. So my roll kind of lays right in that little gap, and it keeps the pressure off of my diamonds. It keeps it, because it's very heavy. It's very heavy because if you take the picture of the Minion picture, Minion Love, which I keep a copy of the picture with me. It's the top of my diamond case. So if you look here, we did all of this. I just finished this section after I did the second Minion. I finished the next section, and we're now into this next section. I have this flower here, and at the top there's a flower up here. So here's another flower. So it kind of comes just before this little fluffy cloud down here. So I'm kind of going down, right? So we're right in here. And we haven't quite gotten to this fluffy. We're working in this area. We're finishing the blue right now. But you can see how long that this has got to be getting heavy, right? Because it's holding diamonds that are through this amount of the painting, right? This much of the painting is done, and the diamonds are hanging to the back of my panel. So I always want to make sure I have something to support it. So that's why I support it on the bottom of the desk. Now we only have this small area to do, so once we're done, we've only got this area left here. So I figured out my finger is about the size of one area. So I got 1, 2, 3 sections left. So a guesstimate, when I'm done with this section, I will have only 3 sections left. And I think that's pretty close to right, because each section is about a roll, and I only have about 2 rolls left here. So I think that I'm going to put this away. I think that was a great way of showing how starting at the top. Now the top doesn't necessarily mean the very top of the painting, because this painting, because it is so long, it's 186 centimeters long. That is 6 feet 1 inches long. Okay? 72 inches is 6 feet, and this is 73 inches. So think about your husband. If you have a husband that's 6 foot, this painting is that size. So I've got to start from I can't just do the top part. If I'm doing the top section of the painting, if I'm going to the top section of the painting and that's all I'm doing all the way through, that means I still have the whole bottom section, and I still have to deal with the heavyweights here. So starting at the top depends on where you do as your chart, as your top. Now I've done other big paintings on this lap desk, and I've not kept them in order. Sometimes I'll turn them and work on them if I'm in the middle part of section, and it's easier. So it really depends, but I've found ways to make sure that I protect my diamonds that have already been completed. I do know that I have one that fell out that I will have to replace. I'm not really looking forward to that at all. Sorry, there's a hair on my canvas. I hate hair on my canvas. Yes, I have very long hair, and my dogs do. So where you start on your canvas is important, and that you keep going, especially if you're doing it mobile. I'm moving this in and out on a daily basis. It goes in and out every day, unless we have a rainy day and it's still wet, but I might be able to sneak out here in a little bit. It looks like it's drying up. So we had a big rainstorm, a monsoon come through this morning, and it's drying up nicely. Still cloudy, but no dark clouds in sight. So we are good to go. Okay? So create the perfect workplace. So the workplace, your workspace, has to be perfect in your mind. I have two workspaces in my house. I have the one that I'm doing right here. This is my mobile workspace. And then I have my permanent workspace, which you've all seen my permanent workspace. Yes, you saw it yesterday. It was, the permanent space is the treehouse. The old treehouse, so old shoe house, sorry. I haven't gotten to the shoe yet. I think I might go spend some time on the old shoe house this morning when I'm done with my video. Just because the next section I do get to start the shoe, so that'll be exciting. But that's my permanent. Stands still, doesn't get moved. Has all of my diamond colors out in separate trays, so I don't have to go and get a diamond unless it has come empty. So I have trays holding all of my diamonds on my diamond painting tray. So I do a lot of that. So your workspace is extremely important. Like I said, I have this mobile workspace and I have my permanent one, and they both have their goods and their bads. And I'll tell you about those once we get done reading. Important when doing any artwork, so you make sure you create a craft area that provides a flat surface and ample lighting, considering lighting in a light box, also known as a light pad, so you can see everything, even at night when you're working in low lit environments. So, yes, light pads are important. Diamond Art Club, I can be pretty dark and still see their symbols. Their symbols are fantastic, easy to read. I can see them from a distance without having to try. And I have no lights on currently. I just have my windows open. I had to turn my craft light off. I actually swung it back there. It's still on. Let me turn it off so my husband's not unhappy with me. And all you're seeing is the pure natural light in my house this morning. So, when it comes to the perfect workplace, what on the mobile, some of the good and some of the bad. The mobile, I can do diamond painting anywhere I want in my house, right? And or I could pack this back in its box because I still have its box. And if we were traveling in a motorhome, and once we get through Social Security, that's our next purchase, is the motorhome once I get my Social Security settled. We do plan on traveling, so I do have to make sure that I constantly have a painting on the go in my mobile area, because I won't be able to diamond paint while we're traveling because I'm the driver. My husband doesn't like to drive. He is licensed and he can help in the driving as needed, but most of the driving will be done by me just because I'm that controlling, that I feel better in a vehicle that I'm driving and not that somebody else is driving. So it makes a difference in how I travel. This is easy to travel. But my other station is a stay at home, stay in one place kind of situation, right? It doesn't move. But I know that anytime I can get up and walk into my craft space and work on it, because it is out and available for me to work on all the time, but it won't move. I can't take it somewhere. It won't go with me. So I do a lot. I don't go in my office near as much as I work on that as I should. I really enjoy working on it, but it's in there. And so it's not in a place that I'm really jumping up and down and saying, oh boy, that's my workspace. Let's go, let's go. I love working there where I have it. It's right in front of the window. So I get to see out the window and look out the window all day when I'm working on it, see what's going on outside. And a lot of times it makes me want to go outside because I love being outside. But on days that I can't go because it's like really rainy, and we will get days like that when we have hurricanes and we don't do a whole lot. But I've not lost power. I've not lost cable through most of our I've lived here 10 years, and every year we've had some kind of system come through our area. It may not be a big system. We've been lucky enough that some of the systems that were targeted to hit our area were not actually hit as hard as they were expected to hit. And that's because the storms, the main part of the storm hits somewhere else. So when a hurricane is coming, they can judge approximately where it's going to hit land. Take this is a landmass, okay, and this is all water, okay? Hurricanes, they come up, and they come around the Gulf, and they sit here on the corner down here, and they're hitting like Miami area, and then it's going to come off, and then it's going to come all the way up the Gulf, and here you see is my area of the Gulf, right? This is the end of Florida. So you see this is all, it's kind of like the way Florida lays. So it does come up, and it was meant to hit this area where I live, the Tampa Bay area. And I'm not telling you where in Tampa Bay, but I do live in the Tampa Bay area of Florida. And so it was meant to come up and hit Tampa Bay. It came in and hit just below. So it came only a couple miles, about, I'd say about 80, 90 miles lower. And so it kind of skimmed past us. We got really, really lucky that year. We also had a couple other ones that were supposed to hit our area, but ended up going up and hitting the panhandle or hitting that corner of Florida, because there's always, Florida comes up and then it goes across. And it's as cross as much as of it is long. Trust me, I've driven them both. So you can go from here to here or from here to here, and it's the same mileage. Our state is just a big check mark, a big square, basically, because this is kind of flat. It's not so rounded. In the area we live in, there is a rounding area, so that's kind of why I used it. It's only a small area, but you get the idea of what happens. You never know. It may be pointed to go here, and then it's going to come up and hit us. So until we know where that hurricane is actually going to hit, we don't know. So we have to be prepared as if it was going to hit us straight on in every hurricane that we have come our way. So the last two hurricanes that I've been in, Irma was the big hurricane. That went right up the middle of our state, and it basically started in Miami and came up on the eastern side, the western side of Florida. So when it was coming up the middle, and the eastern side, the western side of a storm is usually the wettest. Over here on the eastern side, it's more wind. So it really depends on when you get hit and where that cone of because they do it in a cone. So they'll have a cone like this, and this will be the worst area, and it gradually gets worse, or better. So, hurricanes are pretty popular. So I have to have some kind of mobile area, because if we have to go somewhere, we've never left our house. We have made everything we've done. Irma, we went through in our house as well. So, the next one is work in small sections, and I'm not sure where I got off on the hurricane, but I did. Sorry about that. Work in small sections. Don't try to attack large sections at a time. Peel back the protective plastic sheet in sections of about 2 or 3 inch squares, or cut slits in the plastic so that you can only portion the canvas is exposed. This helps prevent you from your hand from sticking to the adhesive in other areas. So I usually carry with me a sheet that I can lay down if I need to while I'm working on a section. But as you can see, I've kind of gotten used to doing it without touching my canvas, so I can pretty much. But I would recommend just a small area like this. When I started, I used to do a little square like this, right? And then I broke it up and I started doing squares like this, right? And I had this big square open up to work with. And now I've just decided that for me, it's easier if I go from one side to the other, and I continue to work on it in this big section. But as you start diamond painting, you start finding out how big of an area that works for you. I'm not going to tell you that everybody should have a small area to work in, because you see Mindy, she's got a big square. She's got a bigger square than I do. And she puts that square down, and that's her section. Mrs. Crochet and Coffee, she opens up a big section like I do. But then you have the ones like Elizabeth Inslee. She's really good. She comes in, she has a big opening, but then she sets herself up just a small section of that opening. And she works on that as she does her WIP and chat. So it really just depends on how it works for you. So start off in small spaces. If you're ready to move on, then start working in bigger spaces. I find the freedom of having a bigger space to work in allows me to lay more drills at a time. So I can take this section that I'm working on. Look at all these pieces. Look, there's a whole section still here that I have to finish. This whole section, other than these few C's and 7s are in there. And this whole big section right through here is all piece. And we go all the way up into there. And we have some areas, this looks like an inlet almost. See how it goes kind of inlet? And then this is the sky. So we have water and we have sky. But as you can see, if I was working in just a small section, I could put that much P down at a time, right? But opening it up into a bigger section allows me to put bigger sections of a color in it. It also lets me work, and I do work in sections when I work in these. So my whole thing is I always lay down my black and I lay down my white first. Once those are done, then I divide and conquer, right? Because I've got to divide and conquer. That's the only way I can get a big painting like this completed, right? So I will do all of these blue areas through here. And then finish the blue area that's at the very top, which you can't see. Okay? I'm going to work on all of that first. Then I'll go to I'll choose the pink section, which would be here. This pink section, it starts here and goes all the way up over there. Or I'll do the brown section, which is the tree. So this will actually be done in 4 phases. So the first phase is the black and white. The second phase will be all the background of the blue. The third phase will be the pink. And the fourth phase will be the brown. And then it'll all be done, right? and then I can go to the next page. But I keep that kind of process going. For me, I need a bigger space. It makes me feel like I'm really getting more done. And I'm really liking. Now, on the one I keep in the office, I do keep a small section. I do work in sections, small sections. Okay? I can work on small sections in there. But this one moves and travels, so this one's kind of morphed into what it is now. What it is now is something that makes me really happy, and I was just trying to lay down the canvas. Okay, you can't see it, but I just laid drills down by accident. I had a bump in the canvas, and I literally wanted to just use my pen to roll it down, and I forgot I had diamonds on it in their place, in a bad place, so I have to go get those out. Okay, the next thing is swap out your wax. Our heart-shaped art wax is some of the best there is, and they are. It's the only one I use. I use Diamond Art Club's wax in all of my pens. I have a big bag of it from all of my paintings, and I just pull it out, and I pull out a new heart, and I pull out a new heart, and I use it till it's gone. But if you feel like you want to experiment with different options, you can swap it out for blue tack. I've tried blue tack and I don't like it. I bought 2 containers of it, and I don't like it. It's not my thing. But I'm not saying you can't use it. Please, anything that I say is not my thing is my personal opinion. It is not an opinion that if you want to take it, you can, but don't take it as if I'm saying that's the only way to do it. It's not. Try the blue tack. Try other reusable adhesives that you'll find at the craft store. This stuff often makes a great alternative if you run out of wax or your local craft store doesn't sell it. Well, we can always get a hold of diamond dots. I have a Diamond Dots just down the street, so I can always go get wax if I need it. I'm lucky that I have a Joann's down the street. Joann's is one direction, Michael's is the other direction, and Hobby Lobby's 20 minutes away. So I don't go to Hobby Lobby that much. Usually it's Joann's or Michael's when I need to run to a craft store to get something quick and fast. If I'm just out, like, perusing the art store, the craft store, see what I can find in those aisles. I love to find things in the aisles. I find little deals, and it's fun, and I can come home and show my husband my little deals. But I always use Diamond Art Club wax in my pen. So as you can see in my pen, you can't really see, but it does have Diamond Art wax. In my tip, though, and in the video that I showed before, I actually have the micro dots in it, and they're really black right now. So see how black that is? I use it until it's black, and I can't use it anymore. But then if you pull it out, see, I've pulled it out, you can see here that there's a clean area on the top side. So I flip it over, and the black side now becomes the bottom. And voila, my pen is ready to use with fresh wax. It's not black. I don't know that you can tell that it's not black, but it isn't. So see how soft silver that is now compared to being black? It is much better. But you'll have the black highlight coming from the base no matter what. So whatever you feel comfortable using, I know that there's a lot of people out there that use the fancy waxes that you can get from different sellers. I actually have here 2, and I only own 2. Trust me, I own 2. It's hard to get them as it is, and I only own 2 of them, but I have 2 of the pretty placers that you can get online. One is strawberry flavored and the other is no scent. I can't always handle scents, so I use them when I have my special drill paintings, or I just need to use something different to paint with. I'll pull these out occasionally. They're really good. I hear that she's getting ready to bottle her wax. If she's going to bottle her wax, I will be right there to pick up on it because I really like her wax. That would be the only wax that I would ever change out from Diamond Art Club. I love their wax. I never have any issues with it. Humidity wise, humidity can be a real pain in someone's backside if you live in Florida. So when the humidity's up, I go through wax faster. When the humidity's down, it lasts longer. I can, with wax, with Diamond Art Club, when it's non-humid, right now I'm humid. I'm humid for the next 7 months. So I know that I'm going to use more wax in the 7 months. The next 5 months after that, no, I won't. It'll last me, sometimes this wax can last me up to 2 days of solid diamond painting. Now if I just leave my pen out, because where else are we going to put them? I put them in my little box now, but I didn't before. And so this wax does dry out after a while, and you have to change it. So usually when I haven't used it in a while, I'll change it out. I have noticed that the humidity wears the wax down in my pen a lot faster. So I do go through more wax. So, invest in the best. If you tried Diamond Art Kits and other companies and have found that the canvas rolls, parts are missing, or color key is plain old wrong, then you've got to upgrade to a better quality kit. Diamond Art Club makes the best diamond painting kits out there and addresses all pain points and other brands. So make sure you always buy for us. Of course, they're going to put in something to buy from them, right? But every company in all of it wants to promote through their blog their company. 100%. We know that because we're reading Diamond Art Club's blog that they're going to put in a pitch for them, and they should pitch for you. If you're reading off their website, you should have some kind of pitch in that reading at all times, and I totally agree with Diamond Art Club. And that's the last. But let's finish off. That was the last tip. Start with the easier paintings first. So here's the last accumulation of their tips. Remember, like any new hobby, it's best to take it slow with rhinestone art. Start with one of our beginner diamond kits or something small with fewer complex colors and patterns if you are just getting started. So, it's probably easier to start on a 12 by 12 or 30 by 40 or 40 by 50. I wouldn't go any bigger than a 40 by 50 while you're starting. I started out as a 12 by 12, then I did I think it was 12 by 14 inches, and I don't know what kind of centimeters that is off the top of my head. And then I found Diamond Art Club, and I've been doing Diamond Art Club big hits ever since. I have a closet full. Now, I don't have hundreds of kits of Diamond Art Club kits. No, I don't have that many. I have enough for me to work on for the next year or two. That's probably 15 maybe. I'll go 20 at the max, okay? Because of the ones that I've already completed. But I probably only have 15, 20 left. That includes some of the diamond dots that I have that are Thomas Kincaid. Now, Thomas Kincaid was my most loved painter growing up. In my town, there was a Thomas Kincaid, kind of like an art studio where they sold his art, and I would be in that mall every weekend looking at his art. Eventually, with the help of the above tips and techniques, you'll advance to large, breathtaking canvases that you can display for everyone to admire, and that's where I went. I'm displaying my artwork. I have my original 12 by 12. It's on the wall. I have my Sweet Tooth completed on the wall. I have to finish its framing. She's not done yet. I still have to frame her. I'm also going to take out the leather that came with it. I've already had one break, so I know that it's not sturdy. I'll be replacing that one. The jackalope's had its leather replaced. It's had the sides cut off, and any extra top and bottom weight have been removed, and it hangs gorgeously in my living room right now. Getting ready to move those paintings out and into the bedroom eventually, so there'll be other things in my living room. I kind of circulate the artwork in my living room, so those will circulate out. Some of them tend to stay here, like we have a football corner that will be staying there. I'm going to do some checking. I think I know how I want to hang those without frames. I have a coloring butterfly that I do that always stays up there that I did. It's a big black velvet one. And then I have my my Chuck Pinson. Hope, it's not Hope Floats, it's a Hope something. Hope Fills Your Life or something like that. But it's up there. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to see what our next article is. So our next article is the best diamond painting kits for the winter. Okay. So that's for December 30th, 2019. So it's still wintertime when they're doing those. So that's fantastic. With all that said, if you like what you see here, it would be great if you put a thumbs up. If you put a thumbs down too, I still get interaction. So either way is fine with me. If you've made it this far in the video, which is the end of the video, thank you so much for being here. And please just comment in the comment section below what you're working on. Actually, let's make it simpler. Put a small comment about what you think of a mobile workstation. Let me know what you think of a mobile workstation. I've been using mine for about 6 months now, and I'm really in love with it. But I'd really love to hear what other people think about having a mobile workstation. I just like the freedom of being able to pick it up and take it with me. So if you like what you hear here and you want to hear more, please subscribe. And in order to know when I upload a video, select the bell notification, and that will show you when I've uploaded a video. With all that said, thank you all very, very much for your time today, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I'm loving you all, and you have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.